I have a small construction company and we build with, amongst other things, tires, bottles, mud, straw, wood, tins, basically materials that are either thrown away or freely available. And basically the whole idea is to use materials that we can find in an area and build with them. So the talk this evening is just on tires and just to showcase a little bit about what's possible with tires. South Africa, we go through about 11 million tires a year. You can imagine if you had to put them into a piece of land, that's a huge mountain. We recycle about 4% of the tires. A couple of the applications, surface mats in playgrounds, tire sandals, rubber crumb, which is an additive which gets added to various mixtures. But we're only going through about 4% of these tires, and so we've got a huge problem on our hands. So these are pictures that have been taken from structures around the world. They can get quite extravagant, quite simple, pretty smart inside. But basically these are all tire structures and they can ultimately look very similar to a standard house. The conventional building industry is probably my biggest challenge at the moment, to try and change perceptions. I'm going up against a lot of uphill in terms of technical and I think perceptions is probably the main one. But basically it's to try and change people's minds about what to build and what to use to build with. I'm not going to go through all three of them, but the bottom one for me is probably the most significant. Cement and concrete are obviously key elements of the construction industry. Just about every new building that goes up uses cement and to manufacture concrete. But the cement industry is the second largest carbon dioxide emitting industry after power generation. So if you can reduce that, you've made a huge impact on the environment itself. It's a short case study on a recycling center we built in Khayelitsha. The concept is basically that kids bring their waste in and they get given points for it, and with their points they can swap for t-shirts, pens, items of value. And the whole idea is that kids are brought up with the understanding that their waste is not waste, but it actually has value to it. So to build with tires is quite simple. You lay the tire flat and you pack in a whole lot of earth and you beat it with a heavy hammer. And there you can see the walls are coming up. Incidentally, a standard car tire takes about 3 wheelbarrows full of earth. It takes about 20 minutes worth of hard work, and they end up weighing about 150 kilograms each. And basically you stack them like bricks. I don't know if you can see, but the walls are all being raised over there. There you've got a window going in, and there the tire walls are up at wall plate height, which is where you're going to put your roof. To fill the voids in between the tires, we use a mixture of mud, straw, and tins. And basically, it's to get the wall to an even surface. And you pack it out with another layer of mud, and then you wrap it in chicken mesh and you plaster it. And there you can see it's had its first coat of plaster. You give it a smooth trial, put your roof on, and there you got a finished recycling center. And I've got a couple of proposals in with local government at the moment to deal with tires. For a standard low-cost house, which is about 40 square meters, and 40 square meters is probably double the size of the stage, maybe a little bit more. I can use 1,000 tires quite easily. For 120 houses, we can use about 120,000 tires. And the current backlog in housing is about 5 million houses in South Africa. And that would translate to about 5 billion tires. And I can deal with effectively South Africa's output of waste tires for the next 450 years. So those are some quite exciting challenges. The other one I'd like to point out is the unskilled labor. To fill a tire is literally lifting and dropping a heavy hammer, so it's completely unskilled. I can train a guy up within about 20 minutes and he can be useful. So again, the opportunity for South Africa in an unemployed environment is pretty good.
Check out the latest Super Challenge now at supernews.coza.